All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to send a special thank you to D. Clayton for the $5 super thanks. Man, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your generosity. It's well received, and like I said, I really appreciate it very much. Thank you. And this video here is a very interesting one. It's almost like it's the counter to the one I did a few days ago about LeBron James, and I listed, just about all of my failures and shortcomings that LeBron has had over his career. This is kind of going the other way with Michael Jordan. And this is about the only player I can think of that every season of his career he did something impressive, a record, a feat, something of that magnitude. It's really crazy. I mean, you look up any other player, just some random year, probably not going to be there. But with Michael Jordan, there was, and it's nuts. Okay, so Michael Jordan in 1985, he led the NBA in total points scored. That's the only rookie that has done that since Kareem in 1970, and that would be the last 54 years. So that's not really a record, but a feat. The only rookie to lead his team in all 5 major stat categories. He tied Joanne Oldham in blocks, but still, was co-leader nonetheless. And I couldn't find any rookie who did that. And I looked through a bunch of them. And I just, if there is one, let me know who it is, because I couldn't find it. And that was in his rookie season. So already very impressive. In 1986, Jordan's second season, he had the bad injury. He was out most of the season. He was limited on what he could do with the foot, the broken foot and all that. But somehow, this guy still managed to set the single game playoff record of 63 points in the Boston Garden, a place where no one could win a game. They were 40-1 at home in the regular season, 50-1 if you include the playoffs. They lost to a game earlier in the year against Portland. This was the second closest anyone all year got to winning the game. The Bulls forced a double overtime. Impressive. But a record. And he only played, a quarter of the season, not even a quarter of the season. I mean, what can you say? And this is second year Jordan. 1987, now this is his second full season. He was the first player to record 200 steals and 100 blocks. And I know there's a little controversy around that about, there were some games where he got more steals than he should have. But I'm also hearing that there were some road games that he got his stats were deflated. So inflated at home, but deflated on the road. So, I'm sure probably pretty close to evened out. But either way, Jordan also has the highest point per game season since the merger. That covers 48 years at 37.1. And that was in his third full season. In 1988, Michael Jordan, the first player to win the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. You can throw in along with, and also the scoring title. Also, the first player since the merger to be first team all defense, scoring title, and the MVP. I'm not sure anyone else has done that. I don't think anyone's done that. Definitely not since the merger. And also, he got the 200 steals, 100 blocks in back-to-back seasons. The only player ever to do that. Now, they were not recording steals and blocks, back in the real early 70s, 60s, and before. They didn't. So you just have to say basically since, the merger. That just kind of covers it all. 1989, Michael Jordan was the only player at the time to win the scoring title and be all defense in back-to-back seasons. Now, I do understand that I think Kobe Bryant did that in, 06 and 07, I think, maybe 07, 08. So he's also done that as well. But at the time, he was the only player to do that. And also to to go, I guess it would be 2 seasons, 1988, 1989. He has the steals and the blocks. And then in 89, the scoring title and the all defense in back-to-back seasons. And only one player do that. Okay, 1990, Jordan became one of 6 players to lead the league in 2 of the 5 major stat categories now multiple times. He did it in 88, steals and points, did it again in 1990. And he's the only player to win the scoring title and all defense 3 times. And also he did it 3 years in a row, but still to this day, no one's ever accomplished that feat. And also you can throw in 91, in 91, I guess it would be, that he did that 4 years in a row now, the scoring title, all defense, and with winning the MVP, doing that twice. So all these things, it's every season. This is the way it is. Also in 1991, in the finals, he has the record to this day, the most steals in a 5-game finals, 14. Actually, Luka Doncic got close to it last year. I think he ended up with 12. But still to this day, the record for the most consecutive field goals made at 13 in a finals game. Still to this day. And also, the most assists per game in any player's debut finals, 11.4. No one's ever done that in their debut finals yet. And that's in NBA history. And then if you include the 91 going into the 92 season, he's got the most assists in any player ever in NBA history. First 10 finals games. 92 assists. The closest was John Stockton at 88, Bob Cousy at 87, and just if you were curious, LeBron James' first 10 finals games, that would have covered the 07 and the 2011 one. He's got 67. So Michael Jordan's first 10 finals games, he had 25 more assists than LeBron James did, if you were wondering. So also in 92, the same thing about the scoring title, all defense in the same season 5 times now. And then if you throw in the MVP that he won 3 times, if you could say, and won the MVP 3 times. No player's ever done any of that. In the 92 finals, the most points in a half, and that still stands to this day, 35 points. And at the time, he hit 6 straight threes, which was a record. I think somebody, Mike Miller, might have hit 7 or something, and Curry maybe broke that. But it stood for, 20 years. 1993, same thing, every year. Scoring title, all defense, 6 times now that he's done that in the same season. He tied Wilt with 7 scoring titles, which is the most ever. He became the second player to lead the league in 2 of the 5 major stat categories, steals and points, 3 times or more, Wilt Chamberlain being the other. Wilt, I think, did it 7 times. But Jordan is the only player to lead the league in 2 stat categories and win a championship. That goes for even doing it once. That's like Allen Iverson, Dwight Howard, Ben Wallace, I think Slick Watts, Don Buse. I mean, there's been, Oscar Robertson. But none of those guys, when they did it, Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, they never won a championship while accomplishing that feat, leading the league in 2 of the 5 major stat categories in the same season. Also, the first three-peat since 1966 when Boston won 8 straight. And also, Michael Jordan has the finals record for most consecutive 40-point games, and that was 4. And I think he's either got the highest or the second highest finals points per game average at 41. I thought maybe Rick Barry had a higher one, but I'm not sure. That'll have to be fact-checked. And also in 93, the Bulls became one of 7 teams to beat both number 1 seeds from both conferences. That would have been the Knicks and the Suns. So pretty impressive. In 1995, Jordan only played 17 games. So it's like, what could he have possibly done, right? That's what I thought until I did the homework on it. And it's just amazing. Michael Jordan is the only player that I could find who played less than 20 or even 25 games who finished top 12 in MVP. I could not find anyone else who played that little games to be that high on the MVP. And also Jordan, not the Bulls, but only Jordan, won 3 consecutive series on the road, meaning the other team had a home court advantage. The 93 Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, the 93 Finals against the Suns, and 95 first round against Charlotte. So one of 6 players to ever accomplish that feat. Impressive. Okay, in 1996, well, I think it's top 75 players. One of 6 top 75 players to accomplish that feat. 1996, Michael Jordan, a scoring title and first team all defense in the same season, now 7 times. So he's just adding to that record. Then you can also throw in the MVPs, which is now 4 that he's done. And also he has 8 scoring titles, which was the most ever after the 96 season. And also 8 consecutive full seasons that he won the scoring title, also a record. I mean, just unbelievable what happened in this year. The only player to win the MVP and the Finals MVP in the same season now 3 times. No one's ever done that 3 times. So they won the league MVP and the Finals MVP 3 times. No one's ever done that before. Also, the Bulls, the highest win percentage, regular season and playoffs combined, at .870, 87%. The record was 87-13. They were the first team to win 70 games up to that point, and were the first one up to the 2016 Warriors. No team had ever won even 70 games. So that was about the first, 65 years of the league? 70 years? Long time. And then 96 carrying it over to 97 was the best 2-year win percentage combining regular season and playoffs at .850, so 85%. That's unbelievable. And then in 97, again, with the scoring title and the all defense, now 8 times that he did that in the same season, 9 scoring titles, which is the most ever, and the first player to ever win 5 Finals MVPs. In fact, I think he was the first one to get 4 at the time. But at the time, the first one to get to 5 Finals MVPs. 1998. Of course, he's now got 10 scoring titles, which is the record. 9 times he won the scoring title and the and first team all defense in the same year, plus MVP, which he's now done 5 times, plus Finals MVP, which he's now done 4 times, all in the same season. The most Finals MVPs ever with 6. The most Finals MVPs and MVPs in the same year with 4. I mean, what can you say? This is just every single year. And his streak of not losing 3 in a row, which was up to, I think it was 648. I'll have to fact check that. But it was well over 600. And it actually ran into the Wizards years, I think like 10 games in. And then, they lost whatever. But the second three-peat that the Bulls won, they were the only team to win with the core players of like Pippen, Jordan, all that, to win 2 separate 3 championship winning streaks. No one else has ever done that. Not even Boston. They won 8 in a row, lost 1, then won 2 in a row. But they did not have 2 separate streaks of 3 championships in a row. Now, obviously, winning 8 in a row is more impressive than 2 three-peats, no question. Or 10 out of 11 years, no doubt about it. Or 11 out of 13 years, yes, absolutely. But going by records, no one's ever done this before. Kobe actually had a shot in 08, and then he had another shot in 11, but it didn't happen. So, and then you have to throw in all the other records, like in '96, they're the only team to ever win 9 out of 10 finals road games. No one's ever been 9-1 on the road in the finals. No team has ever won 15 out of 19 finals games. They were 15-4 and 19 played. No one's ever done that. Michael Jordan became, after the 98 season, because he never played in the playoffs again, one of 5 top 75 players to win 1 round in the playoffs while having a winning record. If his team had a winning record, he won at least 1 round of the playoffs. The other players to do it were Dave DeBusschere, Sam Jones, Bill Russell, and George Mikan. But Jordan's the only player in the last 50 years to accomplish that feat, 5-0. The only top 75 players to win the title when winning 60-plus games, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And Jordan could even go as far as to say more than 55, say 56-plus. Pippen was on a 59-win team in Portland, so he can't say that. But Jordan can. 56-plus, he's the only top 75 player to do that. Now, we go to the 2001-2002 season. Now, I know, what could he have done, Well, Michael Jordan was the oldest player. He was 39 years, 2 months old when the season ended. To receive MVP votes, he finished 13th in MVP. No one has been that old, 39 years, 2 months old, and received MVP votes. And that includes the immediate darling, LeBron James. He has not had MVP votes the last 2 seasons. So that includes him. The 2002-2003 season, Michael Jordan and I believe John Stockton actually tied him. They were the same age as the oldest players to play all 82 games. And Jordan is the oldest player, 39 and 40, to average 20-plus points per game in a season. That's probably going to get broke by LeBron this year because, how bad it is, the load managing, the defense, all that. I'm sure he's going to get, at least 21 points or something, I'm sure. But as of now, the record still stands. Then you look back at the whole career, because when his career ended, just to name a couple. Michael Jordan, the career points per game, regular season, all-time leader, and also the career points per game, playoff leader. Both those things. Every aspect, you want to talk about longevity. Well, here's one. It's a record. A longevity record that I don't hear many people talk about, but it should be out there. The longest stretches between a player's first MVP and their last MVP is 10 years. Michael Jordan's first MVP was in 1988. His last MVP was in 1998. No one has that far apart. Wilt Chamberlain is second with 7 apart. I think he won his first in 1960, his last in 1967. That's the closest. But no one has ever won an MVP 10 years apart. It's never happened. Oh, I'm sorry, Kareem. He won his first in 71 and his last in 1980. He was 9 years apart. He was very close. But this next one is not close. Scoring titles. Michael Jordan won his first scoring title in 1987 and his last in 1998. That's an 11-year gap. The longest is 7 years. Also, Wilt Chamberlain and Allen Iverson, they won theirs 7 years apart. That's the second longest. But Jordan has that. I just want to name those real quick because I think they're important. They go to longevity. You can talk about third-team All-NBAs and All-Stars for 20 years, but to be an MVP for a decade, scoring champ for 11 years, we've never seen anything like Michael Jordan's resume. Like I said, pick out any year he played, and there's something impressive about it. You know, I could pull some random ears out of any other player you name, and they didn't do anything special, guaranteed. I mean, basically, if you want to go year by year, Michael Jordan's career, you will lose. Any player you put up against him, full resume, year by year, whatever metric you want to use, your player B is going to lose. That's why this whole thing about this GOAT business is a joke. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And when you break it down year by year, a record, a feat, every single year, team accomplishments, all the individual accomplishments you could think of, this guy has it all. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd really appreciate it. Try to give daily content. And that's it. Till next time.